Thank you, Mr.
is
Chairman.
recognized for 5 minutes for your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member. Thank you so much. And thank you, Administrative Director, being here with us. I appreciate the work that the men and women do for ICE. I've been working with them since I first got started here. In fact, I started off with one of your agents, Al Peña, who I think became Deputy Director of ICE some years ago. When we were in Laredo, we started the BEST program. That is the Border Enforcement Security Task Force. Since then, we put it into language. We've expanded it. I think you got over 70. And it goes after the cartels for drugs, trade, et cetera, et cetera. How's that coming along, the BEST programs?
Thank you, sir, for bringing it up, and I appreciate the work for former Deputy Director Pena. The BEST program is an excellent program that does protect our homeland, specifically through the work of what Homeland Security Investigation does, not only for the criminal cartels, but illicit activity and long-term investigations on the border. Recently, the President signed the executive order with the establishment of the Homeland Security Task Force. I think the committee will be happy with the results of what these task forces will do. It'll bring to bear all the federal resources of Department of Justice and Department of Homeland Security to focus on these transnational gangs, these ones that are bringing in fentanyl, these illicit drugs that are coming into our communities. Not only that, but they'll focus on these transnational cartel organizations, along with foreign terrorist organizations that do threaten our border, not only the southern border, but the northern border, as well as our maritime interdiction, which has increased greatly. Just last night, Homeland Security Investigations had their first indictment for support of terrorism material in San Diego, which is one of the actions that you'll see coming out of the Homeland Security Task Forces.
Good. Well, I appreciate the good work that the program does. Are we still about 1.3 million final deportation orders? I know your work is very hard, and I remember Director Morgan many years ago. It's some people want you to do more, some people think you're doing too much, so trying to find that balance is always difficult. But where are we on the 1.3 million final deportation orders? And I don't know if that's still the correct number.
Yes, sir. It's approximately 1.1 million final deportation officers. We're actively still prioritizing those and attempting to affect those removals. As the president said on the Secretary Noam, we did prioritize, and we still are prioritizing the worst of the worst. However, during our investigations and when we are out in the communities, should we encounter someone that has a final order, it has been lawfully ordered, removed, or deported from the United States, ICE is going to uphold their sworn duty and take that individual into custody and effect that removal order. But to your question, sir, ICE is actively working on those final orders at this time.
Good. Yeah, and I understand what happens if you run into somebody. You can't just close your eyes. But as long as you focus on criminals and final deportation orders, national security threats, that would be good. Let me go back to, it's actually Section 527, very familiar, because myself and some other folks, we added that language. In fact, we added language on oversight of the detention, because ICE doesn't really have detention, so you have to go to the private sector to do that. But we put specific language, one where a member of Congress does not, it says specifically, doesn't have to give notice. Staff might have to give notice, but members can go in and act accordingly, number one. And then on the oversight, health, food, whatever needs to be provided to the folks that are being detained, we have very specific language to make sure that those private contractors are following that, and you all are following that oversight that Congress has set up.
Yes, sir. Yes, we are. And that's one of the things that I am proud of is ICE does have some of the highest detention standards. But unfortunately, that does hinder a lot of local partners partnering with us, because due to the high standards that ICE has, it's cost prohibitive for a local law enforcement agency, state, or a sheriff's department to actually enter into ICE, because they would not be able to afford.
Okay. And just finally, years ago, we started the border coordinating processors for Border Patrol, because we wanted Border Patrol to be out in the fields and not changing diapers, making sandwiches for migrants. Very important, but not for the agents. we want more support staff for y'all, so make sure you keep asking for the support staff so you can have the agents doing their work instead of sitting down behind a task. It worked very well. For Border Patrol, we did a lot of things for Border Patrol, border processing, support staff, mental health, support staff, because everybody goes through that situation. So just make sure you ask the committee for that support.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you bringing that up. Thank you.
Thank you so much.